Pikmin 1 is the scariest video game yet created, and I don't know how people play this. Light spoilers ahead, such as enemies, bosses, and areas. Pikmin is a game about raising an army of these vile creatures and then commanding them to murder innocent planetary creatures and harvesting their corpses to reproduce. Why does it look so friendly? This game kinda reminds me of Finding Nemo style / content where, it looks really cartoony and friendly on the surface, but then his wife and kids get fucking murdered. While they're both incredibly different from each other in many ways, the biggest contrast is that Nemo is a goofy adventure while Pikmin is a whole different story. This is truly the scariest psychological horror game, but I'll talk about the gameplay in a bit. First, I want to talk about the story. Pikmin is about this big-nosed guy, whose name is Olimar, and he's going in space, and he gets hit by a rock. So then he crashes on this planet, and so then he has to fix his ship. This is definitely a Nintendo story, where the plot or dialogue doesn't really matter at all. Like for example in Mario, Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach and you have to save her. It's a simple concept, but that's not what Nintendo stories are about. Nintendo stories is the journey you take, and the world and the levels you go through to get to the end. Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything, but it's awesome. And that's exactly what kind of story Pikmin is. You'll finish the game and look back on how little you knew at the start, reminisce about the adventure you just went on. But then when asked what the game is about, you're like, you see, Olimar is what many people would consider a little bitch. This guy can't do anything on his own, and he can't carry the ship parts at all. Just look at his arms. But then, a foul creature emerges from the depths of hell. It's a flower or something, and then you start racing your army. But before I want to talk about the gameplay, I just want to point out real quick, holy fucking shit, these fuckers are so incompetent. The Pikmin do not understand anything. Just look at this guy. If you try to walk over a bridge, they will fall into the water. If you try to walk around anything, they will just walk into a wall forever. They're constantly falling over. Sometimes they stop fighting and just stand there and die. If you try to get a ship part, they will somehow get it and themselves stuck. If you walk over grass, they will never stop fucking eating. Just move, you greedy fuckers. Look at this part. Hey Pikmin, get that thing down from there. Alright, now let's talk about the real gameplay. Pikmin has a pretty cool progression system where, you only have 4 areas, but a lot of stuff in these areas are locked off by knowledge. And also because you haven't unlocked all the Pikmin yet. Like there's parts where you can't get a certain thing because it's blocked off by water, so you need the blue Pikmin. And there's walls in the way of other stuff, so you need the yellow Pikmin. But I'm talking about the stuff where if you don't already know what to do, you'll die. Like for example, this boulder guy, when you first meet him, it will be like, what the fuck? But when you see him again the second time, it's like, oh, it's just that guy, and then you whoop his ass. Almost every enemy, there's a strategy to beat them. Except for Smokey Prog, he's just kind of an ass. When it comes to video games, Pikmin is one of the most unique experiences out there. There's nothing like this at all. The art style is so weird, it's like realistic and super cartoony at the same time. I can't tell if stuff is supersized or really tiny. And the premise overall is never seen before. It's a game that takes no inspiration from anything. When other games go left or right, Pikmin starts dancing instead. And that's not even mentioning the character designs. I mean, just look at this. Like, who is this guy? Who are you? How are you not gonna play this game? Come on now. And the music? This soundtrack? I don't think there has ever been another soundtrack that's more thematically fitting. It's relaxing, energetic, and fun at the same time, all without being loud or obnoxious, so it's perfect for when you're exploring and taking home the pig item. I mean, you got the There isn't really anything bad to say about Pikmin 1 other than maybe, that there's a lot of glitches and the Pikmin AI is actually the main villain of the game. But there's one thing that is the final boss of tomfuckery. I'm sure you can already guess what I'm talking about. The feature that is the run-ender for a lot of people. Majora's Mask, Dead Rising, Persona 5, even fucking Shenmue. What do these games have in common? A fucking time limit. Why? Why would you put an exploration-based game on a timer? That ruins everything. You're walking around and you see something new and you go, oh, this is cool, let me go here. But actually you go, god damn it, this is the stupidest fucking idea implemented into a video game to date. Fuck you. I think there's some clinically insane people who actually like this mechanic, but I think they need to be caught and thrown in Alcatraz. Because of this feature, I deduct 5 billion points from my final score of the game. But it does have breadbug as a character, so actually it's like a 7 out of 10.